Welcome back to my channel at The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. If it's one thing I know about Marvel outside of the fact that their first 3 phases were some of the greatest superhero cinematic experiences I ever got to witness, I am part of history in that aspect. It'll probably never be done again, although I do hope that DC comes close, because I would also love to see a successful Justice League franchise side by side with Marvel, not take over them. I just want to see them both thriving in their own right, because I love both Marvel and DC. But if it's one thing Marvel does excellent, it is the costume design for their characters. Now, they don't always hit it perfect. I wasn't a huge fan of Hawkeye's costume. I wasn't a huge fan of Black Widow's costume. And there are a few other characters that I was not a big fan of. And you know what? I'll say it. I think that the Iron Man nano suit is absolute garbage and trash. And it takes away from the awesomeness of seeing him step into this robotic exoskeleton and have it close around him. I think that's one of the coolest parts of the Iron Man character. And when it was relegated to pressing a button and just having CGI, even though the exoskeleton was CGI, it still looked cool. It just doesn't look cool seeing nanotechnology cover him. Like, I want to go back to the original Iron Man suit. That's besides the point. Marvel has always made excellent costumes for their superheroes. You had Captain America, who started off in the first Avengers with an incarnation of his suit that was morphed into like a World War uniform that looked like it would be easy for somebody like him to fight crime in without it being too corny like the actual Captain America suit. Then you got him on tour in the first Avenger wearing the iconic Captain America suit, and it was a little corny. But then they found the perfect balance of both of those modern military type suits with the iconic Captain America suit in the first Avengers. I thought that was perfect. Then they got Thor, and in my personal opinion, my favorite Thor suit that he wears is in the last one, Thor Love and Thunder, that 80s retro style suit that was very colorful. It's the worst of the Thor films, but the suit was amazing in it. I thought they nailed it with Spider-Man. I thought they nailed it with Doctor Strange. I thought they nailed it with the original Iron Man concept. I thought they nailed it with Wanda Maximoff. I thought they nailed it with Vision. They just make really great costumes that don't venture over into the corny territory, but also don't venture into the Fox where they gave the X-Men like all black leather, because that was just the in thing back then. You had Val Kilmer in his all black leather Batman costume. Then you had the X-Men characters. You had Blade. I always hated those black suits. I understood what they were going for. They wanted to make a more grounded version of those characters that didn't feel so corny with Wolverine wearing a yellow costume. But go all the way to when they made Deadpool and Wolverine, there was reports of people hysterical crying on set when they saw Hugh Jackman for the first time in the Wolverine costume, because that's what we've always wanted. There's a way to do it that doesn't feel corny, and they pulled it off in Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was Marvel. They owned Fox by that point and had to greenlight the costume for them to go ahead with it, and Kevin Feige himself said that it was amazing, and they've always nailed it. That being said, the reason why I'm saying all of this is because at a recent convention, on the banner of the convention was a bunch of different stills from upcoming movies that Marvel and Disney have coming out, whether it be from Pixar, whether it be from Marvel, whether it be from just regular Disney, like originals. And one of those pictures was of Doctor Doom. And a lot of people thought, oh, it's probably just pulled from one of the comics. It's probably just concept design. It's probably from this. It's probably from that. But comicbook.com actually did some research and learned that the suit that you see in that still in the banner at the convention has never been used before in any of the comics, has never been used before in any of the cartoons. And you want to know why that is? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is your first look at what Robert Downey Jr. is going to look like in Avengers Doomsday. And oh my God, did they nail this or what? It looks incredible. I mean, just look at the chainmail in the joint area. Look at the helmet. Look at the cape around him. Look at the belt. It's everything about it just screams comic accurate without being corny. It screams badass. He's arguably the biggest villain that people also love at the same time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He has so much character, so much rich backstory, and a lot of people were afraid that the Russo brothers was going to make it more like lame, like the Iron Man nano suit or like the Spider-Man suit that's more controlled by Stark tech and not so much something handmade from Peter himself. I think that this is as accurate as you can get to what a Victor Von Doom would look like in live action without it venturing into that corny category. I think they knocked it out of the park again. Now, do I think that this is going to win over the people that think that this is a terrible idea, casting Robert Downey Jr. as a different variant of Victor Von Doom? No, but I don't think they're going to look at it and say it's a bad costume. They're probably going to look at this and go, well, I'm still not happy about the idea, and I don't think that this is a good idea. I think that this is a desperate attempt for them to bring back some of the audience, but that's a pretty cool fucking suit if you ask me, because that's what the whole planet's saying, because it is a badass suit. This is one of the coolest looking suits I've ever seen Marvel do. Victor Von Doom is my favorite Marvel villain of all time, and sometimes he's not always a villain. Sometimes he is a hero and he fights alongside with the Avengers. It depends on the story arc that you're reading, depending on which writer, which comic, which cartoon, but we gotta see him as the villain first. We gotta see him rip out someone's spine like he does to Thanos in the comics. For those of you who don't know, in one of the comics, to assert his dominance and to show the audience just how much of a threat and a badass Victor Von Doom is, he goes up to Thanos about to square off in a fight. And this is after everyone's seen Thanos beat the brakes off of all the Avengers. And before the fight could even start, as Thanos goes to raise his hands to fight, Victor Von Doom just reaches his hand inside Thanos' chest and rips his spine out and kills him instantly. We have to see that in this movie, and we have to see that in this costume. But what do you guys think? Do you like the suit? Do you love it as much as I do? Do you think that it's fake and something they just made for the banner? Why would they do that? I don't know, but maybe that's what you think. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.